Hello, who are you?
Hi, I'm Surya.
Hi, Surya.
Hi, and I'm a PM on the Windows Fax team.
Okay, the Windows Fax team.
Yeah.
That's great. So, any new developments with that? Can you tell us more about it?
Okay. For Windows Vista,
Well, you're the first person who said Windows Vista and not Longhorn for a long time.
yeah, so we're getting used to the new name.
Right.
So, yeah, so we're doing a bunch of things for Windows Vista. So one of the most significant improvements or changes on the fax side of things is that fax and scan has been built into a new application called Windows Fax and Scan.
Okay.
And this is going to be a highly discoverable application from the start menu.
Oh, okay.
One of the problems that we encountered when we were working with fax is that not a lot of people know that you could fax using a Windows computer.
Right, and a simple modem.
And a modem or the Windows Fax Server.
Right.
So and discoverability is one of the major challenges that we are addressing. So this is going to be a highly visible application from the start menu.
That's great.
Integrating both Windows Fax and Scan. So some of the changes that we have done is we have built an accounts model into the fax application, which means that the Windows Fax and Scan application works like any other client, like an email client, where you can configure different accounts.
Okay.
And you can work with multiple, fax services, one of which could be on your local computer, which works with a local fax modem. You can also work with the Windows Fax Server account, which is a Windows Server 2003 or post Blackcomb Longhorn server,
okay.
which acts as a fax server. Now these are the only two kind of accounts that we can use today. But going down the line, we will be working on some of the accounts like Internet Fax Service Providers.
Okay.
And MFP devices.
Okay.
So if you've got an MFP device in your corridor, which does print, copy, scan, fax.
Right.
So you can create an account to that, and you can send and receive faxes through that device.
Wow, that's great.
Moreover, faxing in XP days was primarily wizard based, which means you create your document in an application such as Word, Notepad, or you have a scanned image, and then you just fax it out.
Right.
But in Vista, we are increasing the user experience by providing a very rich composition experience.
Okay.
So sending a fax is as intuitive and easy to use as email. You have the concept of, to a subject, having very rich editing and formatting features. So you could really do a lot of it in line.
Okay.
And then attach your documents. It's as intuitive as using email.
Okay.
Very simple.
So the interface is going to be more email-like or more fax machine-like?
It's going to be completely email-like.
Okay.
It's going to be completely email-like. The addressing, we have built-in support for Windows Address Book as well as Outlook GAL.
Okay.
In case Office is installed.
Okay.
So you can have your corporate contacts, which you can pick, put them on the to line and send a fax.
Okay.
And some of the other interesting features that we are building in is the ability to reply and forward faxes.
Wow.
Today, when you get a fax, it usually comes to you on a computer. It usually comes to you as an attachment,
right,
in a TIFF file, which you probably print it out, and then you either send a fax using a machine.
Right. It's a very cumbersome process.
It's a very cumbersome process. So in Vista, what you can do is when a fax comes in, you can automatically hit a reply and send a fax back to the person, or you could forward this as an email. Like for example, if I want to share it with my colleagues, most probably I'll just send it over email. I won't want to fax it out unless I'm sending it as a fax to some marketing people or somebody in the field.
Okay.
So using the fax application, I could get into the email transport and forward it as an email, or forward it as a fax, or reply it back to the sender as a fax.
That's great.
One of the interesting, some of the differences between fax and email is that when you get an email, the ultimate recipient is always known, so it's directly delivered to your inbox.
Right.
Right. But what happens in fax is faxes come to a particular number, and for example, at Microsoft, it's the receptionist or the fax administrator who takes the fax and passes it on to you, either via email, or they just take a printout and leave it at your desk, or ask you to come and collect it and stuff like that.
Right.
So from Vista onwards, what we have is the concept of routing administrators or routing assistants. Now these are the people who sit on the fax server, get a bunch of incoming faxes, read the cover page, and actually route the fax to you. So a routed fax comes to your inbox as a normal email, and you have, so you get it to your ultimate destination,
Okay.
which is your inbox.
So I have a question there. What kind of formats are you talking about there? Are there going to be proprietary formats for fax?
Okay.
Are there going to be like JPEGs or something?
No, so the entire fax works on the T30 protocol, and
Okay.
the file format is TIFF.
It's TIFF.
TIFF.
Okay.
Okay, and that's an industry standard. We have a particular format that we build when the user composes a fax.
Okay.
So what we do is, so the way this works is, say you're composing a fax in your compose form. You drop a couple of attachments, say Word attachments, and then you type in some body. When you send the fax, a TIFF image is generated.
Okay.
We use Word to generate the TIFF image for the Word attachment, and the rest of the body we do it ourselves. We merge both the TIFFs into a single file, and this is the TIFF that is actually passed on the wire, on the telephone wire.
Okay.
Just to come back again to composition, some of the cool things that we can do in Vista using Windows Fax and Scan is that while composition, I could get into a preview mode where it looks very similar to I think
Print preview?
Yeah, print preview. You see some thumbnails on the left.
Right.
You see all your pages.
Right.
You see your cover page, how
Okay.
it looks like. The data that's entered on the cover page, how it sits.
Okay.
And then you can, probably go back to your edit mode, make some changes.
Right.
See it visually before you send it out.
But won't these TIFFs be compressed or something? Because TIFFs ideally are like pretty huge in file size.
Well, with the
How do you tackle that?
with fax, we do not see any problem there because most of it is printed text.
Okay. And it's mostly monochrome.
Monochrome. Yeah. So basically, okay, when we send fax, right, we have different printer settings, or we have different settings which we could use for the application to generate into a TIFF file.
Okay.
Now we have a couple of settings, 100 by 200 dpi and 200 by 200 dpi. Now if you look at some of the other applications in the industry which are already out there, which do PC-based faxing, now some of them have more advanced resolution and DPI, and you can go up to 300 by 300, 600 by 600,
Okay.
stuff
Okay.
like that. Now those are the ones which will be a little bigger, bulkier.
Okay.
We have not done any changes on that side for Vista, but that is something that we are evaluating, or probably we'll think about it down the line.
Okay. Okay.
Couple of other things, interesting things that we are thinking about is OCR.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so when a fax comes in, you can do OCR on it. So that
So it'll be inbuilt.
yeah. So we have been talking to MSR,
Okay.
who already have an OCR engine
Okay.
that they have prototype built, developed. So basically the ScanSoft OCR engine which Microsoft used to use in Modi,
Mm-hmm.
the Microsoft Office document imaging
Okay.
application, has been taken by MSR. They've kind of worked around it, done a bunch of improvements. Now that is something that we are evaluating. We haven't built it into Vista because some of the limitations there are apparently at this point it's about 70% accuracy, which we would like to improve.
Right.
And the second thing is it only works for 7 languages. The
Right.
OCR engine.
Right. Right.
So we are just kind of evaluating that. We haven't built it in. Some of the other interesting things that we are working on is the ability to save a fax to Metro.
Two.
To Metro. Metro is the new fixed document format,
Okay.
which is an open XML-based fixed document format,
Okay. Okay.
which is very similar to PDF.
PDFs. Okay.
Right. So the D2 team, which is our parent team in Redmond, actually owns the entire Metro specification and format.
Okay.
And this is the team that is known as eDocs.
Okay.
This eDocs.
So Metro is a code name, is it?
Metro is the code name of the project.
Okay.
So basically using that, what you do is you have a Word document, you print to Metro, and this Metro document can be passed over to anybody and they can open it in a Metro reader, which is very similar to a PDF reader.
Or a MS reader.
Or an MS reader.
Okay.
Now, it could even open an Internet Explorer. So if you pass this Word doc out to someone out there who's on Linux, who's on Unix, who doesn't have Word,
Okay.
they can still open it, they can read it, but this is a fixed document, so you can't tamper with it.
Right.
And when you print it, now this is the most interesting part. This whole file is not really spooled. So the printers talk Metro now.
The printers?
Stock Metro.
Okay.
They
okay.
understand Metro.
Okay.
So there are already printers out there by Canon, Fuji, Xerox, companies like that. Which
Okay.
are very early prototypes, which directly understand Metro.
Okay.
So basically you don't have to go through the Windows spooler and the print path.
Right.
But it's very similar to PostScript, where you just stream the entire PostScript data onto a printer.
Okay.
So we are actually investigating saving files, received faxes. Now, when you get a fax, right, it sits in your message list, there are a bunch of messages. Now, what do you do with it? You can print it, copy it, forward it, reply, blah, blah, blah.
Simply view it, nothing.
View it, you read it. Or you could also save it, to your local hard disk so that, you can keep it later.
Right.
Now, the only formats that we support currently is this.
Uh-huh.
But so this is where Metro comes in. So we are trying to evaluate saving faxes as Metro.
Okay.
So that and actually the PDC is just going on, and we're just reading a bunch of mails, and so
Things getting announced.
yeah, it is. And so the way we look at it, this is going to be a very big format.
Okay.
And we really want to be there and support this. And this is our parent team in Redmond, so we have a lot of interaction with them.
That's great. Great. Thanks, Surya. That's been a great talk.
Yeah, thanks.
Looking forward to the fax environment in Windows Vista.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah.
Bye.
Hello there. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Saurabh.
Hi, Saurabh. This is Channel 9. So, Saurabh, what do you do?
So I'm a developer at an imaging group,
Okay.
and basically we deal with all the scanners and other devices that work with Windows, cameras, webcams.
Oh, cool. That's great. So, I think we can have a lot to talk about.
Sure.
So, any new developments with Windows Vista?
So as you see, we are focusing on scanners,
Okay.
and basically we have some new APIs which make life cool for the application developers.
Okay.
And we have some couple of scenarios for automating scanning. So you could walk up to your network scanner, push a button, and your scanned image will just come to your desktop or get emailed to your inbox. And this is like you can have scan profiles for all these storing your scan settings.
Okay.
And this just makes your life easier, and you don't have to go through a wizard and do anything.
Right.
You
Do a file import, scan, and all that stuff.
Yeah, do it once and it will remember those settings. And from the infrastructure side, we have some filters that you may call it, which the driver vendors can provide, and they can add additional functionality there. So you can add segmentation of images. So you scan your pictures, it will figure out there are like 3 pictures on this tag bit and separate them. So you don't have to do it in any other application.
Okay. Okay.
So that's like a limitless thing, so you can add a lot more features there. So it's a pluggable interface.
That's cool. And what else? What more features can we expect in Vista in terms of? So are you also part of the team which does the fax and imaging preview, the viewer?
Yeah, the document sensor.
Okay.
So
any more improvements with that?
So we have automated routing that's low cost. So you can basically set up your machine, and once you scan it will automatically land up in the destination you want.
Okay.
And it just makes management of all these pictures a lot easier. Mostly till now we've been focusing on the picture scenario and lot less on documents.
Right.
But the focus is shifting towards documents now. So getting the scanned images back into document lifestyle. So this is just one step in that direction.
Okay. So just recently, actually just today, I just saw Windows Max getting released, rather announced, which is similar to Picasso, where you can manage images. So any kind of collaboration with that when you do yours?
Till now we haven't done anything of that sort.
Okay. Okay. But Max seems like a pretty interesting software actually.
Maybe I haven't taken it.
Okay. You should just check it out on Microsoft.com/Max.
Sure.
Okay, great. Thanks so much, Saurabh. That was great.